Today on Dr. Phil.
Welcome to my hoarding nightmare.
Her husband left 12 years ago.
I thought he'd come back, and he did.
How did you know he was even gone?
He wants to remarry her,
Are you trying to get half of her stuff?
but only if she dumps the junk.
My son does not have a place to sleep.
You have broken hangers.
Yeah, but one side of him's still usable.
What the hell are vampire teeth? Let's do it.
Good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Hey guys, how are y'all? All right, take a look at this house where all the rooms are filled with junk. Yeah, well, my guest Kelly says this just isn't junk at all. It's her collection of useful and valuable things, such as ceramic shoes, baby clothes, receipts from 16 years ago, unopened, expired boxes of cereal, empty plastic water bottles, torn underwear, and get this, plastic bags filled with plastic bags. Kelly says she has so many precious items that her 14-year-old son has been forced to sleep on the couch since he was 5. So she can use his bedroom to store everything they need. Now, Kelly opened her doors to our crew to show me the inside of her home. It was the first time she has ever allowed strangers into her house. Take a look.
Hi, Dr. Phil. Welcome to my hoarding nightmare. No one's been to my house in 14 years. I'm giving you a peek into my hoarding mess. Here we go. This room back here is what used to be my son's toy room and playroom, as well as to the left is the desk where he used to do his schoolwork. But because you touch one thing, or sometimes things just end up falling by themselves, I used to think there was a method to my madness. This is our kitchen. The cabinets are so full of stuff that even the clutter has spilled over to the countertops. I have stuff up there that's 5+ years old. I don't like wasting things. I feel like there's a lot of things in this house. There's a new pot and pan set that I bought. I bought this at least a year ago, and it's still sitting here. This bike I bought for my son about a year and a half ago, and it's still here. He hasn't been able to ride it yet. This is our computer room, and you can't even get into the room. It's behind the door. I'm not even sure everything that's in there. The floor in the hallway is covered with stuff, and the door jams all the way back to the hallway. And even this closet right here, as you can see, stuff falls down, falls out of it. I'm always afraid to open it because I don't know what's going to come tumbling down on me. Some stuff has been here for as long as we've been here. We moved into this house in '97, so who knows what's way back in the back of this closet. I'm not even really sure.
Okay, now, get this. Kelly and Richard are here together today. Now, they were married once before, but Kelly's hoarding tore them apart. Now, 12 years later, after Kelly promised to dump all the junk, they're set to walk down the aisle again. Now, I've always said, once you get out, stay out. But they're set to do this again. Slow learners or big love? I don't know. But Richard says nothing has changed. He's given her one final ultimatum. Either get rid of your junk or me. Take a look.
Kelly has a very terrible hoarding problem that's been going on for many years now. I'm very tired of her choosing her stuff over a quality of life. I don't know why she thinks these things are so important to her. Plus, you got bags and bags and bags of
Those
hangers.
don't work.
Then why are they still here? When I walk in the house, there's lots of things in the walkway. Clothes that she buys, she has no idea where they are. They just get misplaced. There's hundreds of pairs of shoes in here. Right now we're in my kitchen, and right behind me is the dining room table. It's completely buried. I am embarrassed to live here. I can't have any people over from work that people were saying, well, why don't you have a barbecue over here? That's what am I supposed to say? I can't. This is the garage. Back here somewhere that you can't see is a pool table. It would be really nice to be able to shoot pool with my son or park a car in here. My son does not have a place to sleep. He has to sleep with one of us or sleep on the couch. It's horrible for him. That's the thing that upsets me the most. I would take my son with me if I walked. I'm reduced to this one little section in here. This is basically my stuff right here, just in this one little area. There's no room anywhere else. It just really needs to be taken care of. I can't live like this anymore. This is just absolutely ridiculous. Kelly and I were married for 6 years, and then 2 years after we got married, I noticed that things were piling up and she would just buy things. That's what led to the divorce. Even though Kelly and I have reconciled and we've been living together for 8-9 years now, I refuse to remarry Kelly unless she stops hoarding. I gave her the ultimatum. Everything has to be out of here or I have to find another place to live. She wants the best of both worlds. She wants to have her family and keep her stuff too. It's no way to live.
Well, the good news is Kelly admits her obsession is out of control, but can she stop collecting her beloved knickknacks before they literally push her family out the door?
My house is screaming at me. It's like this monster that just grew and grew and grew. There's just stuff everywhere. This is my organized hoarding. All that's the unorganized hoarding.
What's all the other stuff in the back room?
That's my unorganized hoarding. I have a lot of stuff in my house that I don't use that we need.
We can look around and see what other stuff we need.
I want to get rid of stuff, but I don't know how to do it. I hang on to it, but I don't want to just throw stuff away or just give it away or donate it. As far back as I can remember, I've always collected things. When you're a teenager, a young girl wants clothes and shoes. So I've always had stuff and a lot of stuff, but I've always been able to maintain it. It didn't seem out of control, or I was able to hide some of it. I think I noticed it turned into hoarding after I was married and my son was born. I've made little paths where I could maneuver in between things, and if I need something specific, I have to crawl over stuff, and stuff ends up just falling down. It's not like I showed up one day with a semi-truck full of stuff and dumped it in here. I just don't know how it grew.
Put it in a bin or something. Go donate it. Get rid of it.
It's stuff we wear.
You wear all that stuff.
Richard has given me an ultimatum. He'll leave and move out if I don't get rid of the stuff. I don't want to do that. There's some things I want to keep. I haven't seen this in a long time. It's hard to get rid of something. I don't want to just give it away. I'm literally pushing my family out the door.
Okay, I know what's wrong with you. I'll get to that in a minute. What I don't understand is what's wrong with you. You got a divorce 12 years ago.
Right.
2 years later, you moved back in.
That's correct.
Okay, you've been back in now for 9 years.
Correct.
And it's gotten worse.
Absolutely.
And now you want to fill out the paperwork and get remarried. Do you want half her stuff?
No.
What the hell's the matter with you?
I love her very much. I love my son. I'm not the type of person that's just going to leave my son.
Yeah, but
I want to fix this. I want to fix this situation.
Okay, and when did you give
2004?
You know what's going to make you sick to your stomach?
What?
This is fixable, and it was just as fixable in 04 as it is in 2016.
Probably was.
No. It's not probably was. It was as fixable. It was more fixable in 04 because it was less entrenched. So the last 12 years of suffering did not need to happen. Okay, next, Richard says Kelly's hoarding has cost him their savings, his 401k. We're going to find what's at stake if Kelly doesn't get her hoarding problem under control fast. We'll be right back.
She She hoards pretty much everything.
I keep bags because I think I'm going to use them. Store bags, plastic bags.
She keeps every type of gift bag to reuse. So there's hundreds of these around.
They're so pretty that I didn't want to use them.
And later, I asked Richard to just bring some things.
I don't think you need gloves for it.
I know some things you don't know. What the hell are vampire teeth? What?
I'll go into a store, something just comes over me, and the next thing you know, I'm just grabbing stuff and just shopping. I see a sale sign. Woohoo! Something just changes in my body, and I walk out with 5 or 10 things. You know what I like about shopping? It doesn't take any brain activity to shop. You just go and you're lost. You're in like La La Land. It's like an escape.
Well, Richard says when he married Kelly, he thought her 200 pairs of shoes was just a little shopping problem. Every story we do here is a teaching tool. And so the reason we do these is to make points to everybody at home. Because for every one of you that's here, there's millions at home that aren't here that are watching this, and we use you guys to make points to all of them at home. And one of the points I want to make is problems don't get better with time. They don't. There's 2 things that don't get better with time. Problems and bills do not get better with time.
Right.
And this problem has not gotten better with time. You just didn't deal with it in 04. Why not? You let your marriage crumble rather than deal with this. Why?
I didn't think it was a big deal.
Oh, your husband is packing his ass up and moving out and serving you with divorce papers, and you thought, well, I just didn't think this was a big deal.
Well, I thought he'd come back. And he did.
Well, you got me there. Did you even know he was gone for a year? How did you know he was even gone?
Well, I didn't.
He's got to be here somewhere.
I didn't think. I didn't think the hoarding would get worse.
It got bad enough
the
for him
pack
to
ratting.
leave. Have you been to other people's houses?
Of course.
Do you notice that you look around and there's like countertops and floor space and chairs to sit on?
And beds to sleep in?
Yeah, and so you notice that, and then you come back and look. Do you say, wow, ugh, wow, ugh, wow, ugh?
I do.
Do you do
I
that? Do you come home and go, this is not okay?
I do, but then I'm too embarrassed to tell anybody, and on a whim, I wrote this show. Now the whole world's gonna know. So,
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, count them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cameras here, all looking at you. Kelly says now it's impossible to get rid of her things because she needs them all.
Knickknacks. You have like 10,000 things like this lying around the house.
I keep a lot of stuff. Things that I keep or collections are shoes, purses. I keep tags from clothes after we take them off to wash them or wear them. What if I need to return it? I even have a poster of Michael Jackson and John Stamos somewhere from when I was a teenager.
I mean, my God. She hoards pretty much everything. How many hangers do you have?
Not very many.
About maybe, what, 2,000? But just the random odd things, it's baffling.
I keep bags because I think I'm going to use them. Store bags, plastic bags.
Keep every type of gift bag to reuse. So there's hundreds of these around.
I used to collect gift bags. When I buy them, I have the intention of using them. But they're so pretty that I didn't want to use them.
I would say 90% of all the things that she has purchased have never been touched. They're still in boxes. They still have tags on them. 7 or 8 years ago, we decided to get a storage unit to see if that could help her hoarding problem. So we unburied most of one room, put it in the storage, and we're paying $150 a month to store stuff that to me is worth nothing. If we don't use something, to me it's worthless. To her, it has all this value and it's so important.
I don't want to just get rid of something when it has value.
Okay, so you're paying to store this stuff now.
7 years of paying $150 a month for things that
aren't even worth a tenth of that. Not even worth anything to me.
Oh, well, let's talk about some of the things he's storing. Boxes of baby formula, ceramic shoes, a sticker book collection, plastic bags, coupons, expired medication, plastic water bottles, bags of new clothes, shopping bags, plastic cups, aluminum foil, broken hangers, plastic hangers, gift bags, wicker baskets. Wait a minute. Did you say broken hangers?
Well, yeah, but one side of them's still usable. All right, now it sounds stupid that I said it out loud.
You've got baby clothes for a girl.
Well,
Do you have a daughter?
No, I thought we were going to try for a baby, and I thought I'd have a girl, and then we didn't. So then after I had some health problems and had treatment, I thought maybe we would adopt, but we can't adopt because I have stuff in the house, and now we don't want another kid right now. But yeah, I have a lot of baby girl clothes. So.
Do your ears sometime get shocked at what your mouth said?
Well, yeah.
Because sometimes you hear things for the first time when you say them, right?
When I say, now that I think about it with the broken hanger, well, yeah, that sounds ridiculous.
I asked Richard to just bring some things.
I don't think you need gloves for it.
You're paying $150 a month to keep this bottle.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have a lid. And later, I could have a truck backing up to your house
And
right
I don't
now.
want that. That would be devastating to me. There's stuff I still want.
And they could be in there shoveling that stuff out as we speak. I asked Richard to just bring some things that you have saved.
Mostly new stuff. I don't think you need gloves for it.
Well, I know some things you don't know.
No, that's not.
This one's
not
falling
good.
apart. Some jeans. Can you fit in these?
Well, yeah, I thought we could sell them or something. Or
Here's a shirt, still got the tag on it. Do you know when you bought this?
no.
You don't know. Hanger?
Yeah,
And you got how many hangers?
a lot. That one on the floor, I think, is the broken one he was talking about.
Yeah, right. Here's something. A package of parachuters.
Well, yeah, when my son was younger and
How old is he?
14. When he was younger, parents, I wanted to be that parent that gave goodie bags around Halloween to all of his friends in class. So I bought lots of Halloween stuff. But
So you've had these like 10 years,
a long time.
unopened.
Clearly, yeah.
Did you ever give them away?
No, I gave other stuff instead
So why did you buy these?
because I thought I was going to use them
But then when you didn't, why did you keep them?
because I figured I'd use them later.
This is later.
Well, they're valuable.
They cost $1. It says right here they cost $1.
If I get rid of them, then it's money I'm throwing out the door. I thought that I would recycle.
But you don't recycle.
Well, my intention is to, because it's money, it's value.
Not if you don't recycle.
Well,
You're paying $150 a month to keep this bottle.
yeah,
It doesn't even have a lid.
yeah, most of them do.
This one doesn't. This bottle does not have a lid, and you're keeping this bottle. Oh, here's something. Are you short on pans?
No, in fact, we have new pots and pans in boxes, but he wants to get rid of the old ones, and I said no, because they still work.
But they can't cook, right, in the house, because you've got clothes hanging in the kitchen.
We have a lot of clothes
What
and
the
stuff.
hell are vampire teeth? You've got 16 pair of vampire teeth?
I buy in bulk because they're on.
Of course you do. the hell is this? You've got lentils.
They're old. They're from what year did you say?
These are 2008.
That's when they expired.
These expired in 2008.
I tried to throw them away.
I can't
about
get
4
to
years
the
ago.
cabinet to clean it out.
These expired 8 years ago.
You could use them in balloons for balloons in a balloon to tie them down and hold them down.
May I have these?
If you want to do that with them, sure.
May I have these?
Yeah.
See, you're making progress already.
Oh boy.
What is this?
It's our old DVR, but it has shows on it that I want to watch.
Perry Mason? What do you mean it has shows on it you want to watch?
Well, we hook it up to this little old TV that I have, and then I could play old shows that I recorded that I still want to watch.
So what's on it?
A bunch of.
Boy, you had a really good chance to say the Dr. Phil show, and you really had a good chance. Yeah.
I'm sure that's on there too.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah, too late now. Kelly and Richard's son has never had a friend over. He sleeps on the couch. He does his homework on a tray on his lap. Now, we're going to hear from him when we come back.
I can't sleep in my own bed. I don't have my own room to play video games. I have to either do homework on my lap or on a TV tray in the living room. I've never had a friend over before.
This is my son's room, and as you can see, it's cluttered with stuff. There's clothes in here from when he was much younger. His bed's full and everything, so the floor is completely full of stuff. That's why he can't sleep in here. And as you can see, I still have the Noah's Ark theme from when he was a baby. Some of the stuff, like in this bookshelf, is baby books and stuffed animals. I have no idea what else is in there.
Well, Kelly and Richard's son Josh says he's never known what a regular house was like until he had a sleepover at a friend's house. Now, he cannot wait until he is 18 so he can move out.
The hardest part of this house is just not having my own space. It's horrible. It's a nightmare here. I can't sleep in my own bed. I don't have my own room to play video games. I have to either do homework on my lap or on a TV tray in the living room. The counter is filled with tons of stuff. We have plastic bottles. I need to clear off the space on the counter just to make my own lunch. I've never had a friend over before. At first, when I was 5-6 years old, I thought it was fine. Normal for a house to be like this until I turned 10. One of my best friends, he invited me to a sleepover, and his house was perfect, clean, no clutter, and I had to ask my mom what was going on. Why is our house like this instead of like his? And she told me the truth, and I told her my friend wanted to know why he can't have a sleepover at my house, and I didn't know why. So my mom told me to tell my friends that construction is going on in our house. I feel horrible for her and for my dad. In 4 more years, I'm gonna turn 18 and I'll have my own apartment hopefully by then, and I could just move out.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. How do you feel about your house compared to friends' houses?
And there's a major difference.
See, we don't think about it, but you grew up in this. Mm-hmm. So you never knew any difference, right?
No.
So when you walked into somebody's house, you had to go, whoa. It was like being in the desert, right?
Yeah.
It was like wide open spaces. What did you think?
It was so different. Didn't know what to think.
Yeah. So where do you sleep?
I either sleep in our bedroom with my dad or on the couch.
Why do you think she does this?
because she buys stuff and hopes that we'll be able to use it, or it'll just become handy at some point in time.
Yeah. And what do you think? Do you think it has value?
No.
There's some good news here. You don't have to wait till you're 18, because this is going to change now. Yeah. Yeah. I've kind of made light of it because, frankly, I find sometimes if we can kind of laugh at ourselves, sometimes we're not quite as defensive about it.
Right.
So I'm really, frankly, trying to manipulate you by disarming you a little bit. Because I feel if I can kind of get you to yuck it up, you're not going to take it so hard when I absolutely rip this out from under you. I could have a truck backing up to your house
And
right
I don't
now.
want that. That would be devastating to me.
I could have a truck backing up there right now with a crew of 6, and they could be in there shoveling that stuff out as we speak.
I wouldn't be happy.
But it would be clean.
Well, the stuff would be gone. But,
And then this would all be over, right?
well,
Wrong.
there's stuff I still want, and I want to know why I do what I do.
I don't have a truck with 6 men.
Thank God.
But I'm going to expect you to do it when I answer your questions as to why you're doing it.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that because that would be a violation, and it's not about the stuff. You need to understand why you're hanging on to this stuff.
Right.
You know, there's another name for hoarding. It's called disposophobia. You have a fear of disposing of stuff. And phobias are anxiety driven. We'll talk about that. Next, after initially speaking with Kelly and seeing pictures of her house, we thought it might be a good idea to have her home tested to see what this family is really living with and breathing in. We'll talk about that when we come back.
We wake up congested.
I always wake up in the morning coughing.
I ended up with a lot of health problems. My son keeps saying he's getting sick because he feels congested and stuffed up all the time.
He's got asthma, allergies.
I'm not sure how many of them could be related to living in this monstrous mess.
I believe this house does absolutely cause some health problems.
The house could be killing my family. There could be stuff hidden, like mold or something that we don't even know about. We wake up congested.
I always wake up in the morning coughing and start sneezing, and then I won't when I'm at work. So is there something to it?
The hoarding, I think it could be responsible for our allergies, for my chronic sinus infections. I ended up with a lot of health problems, and I'm not sure how many of them could be related to living in this monstrous mess. My son keeps saying he's getting sick because he feels congested and stuffed up all the time.
My son's asthma or allergies. Who knows what else this house could be causing because of all the allergens and dirt and dust in here. Who knows what else is in here?
I don't think there's mold in the house.
Kelly doesn't think there's mold in the house. We sent Home Inspector Scott Collins, owner of Collins Inspection Services, to test the air quality and collect mold samples from Kelly's home.
Hi.
I'm here to sample for mold in the air. We're going to kind of walk around the house and look for any areas that might possibly have mold. It definitely smells musty in here. I'm seeing some organic growth. Might have a little bit of fungus growth down there at the bottom. And what we're seeing here is, again, probably condensation from interior moisture of the house.
Okay.
When you're breathing, you create moisture, and cooking and bathing, so all that moisture inside the house, if the house isn't properly ventilated, if you're not able to open your windows and your doors often enough, that moisture will condensate on this glass. The curtains are pushed up against the glass by the stored items in there. You have some growth from where that condensation's formed. You have some fungus growth. We're going to take both these indoor samples and the lab will compare them.
Well, Scott is on the line right now to tell us the results of the home inspection. So, Scott, what did you find?
Hi, Dr. Phil. We found 3 types of mold in the home. Basically, as you might have saw in the video there, we had mold growing in the bathroom window, on the curtains in the living area, and the air samples were representative of that. There was another species of mold, or two other species of mold that potentially showed up. They're hard for the lab to determine which one it is, so it's one or the other. It's penicillium or aspergillus. And then on the windows and the glass, we had cladosporium. Cladosporium, as I've seen in research, that it's a trigger for asthma. These molds are all potential allergens. Why they're not toxic, as in black mold, they can be toxic to certain individuals.
All right, Scott, thank you so much for your information, and thank you for inspecting the home for us. I really appreciate it. I want to add somebody to the conversation. Dr. Tanya Elliott is joining us via Polycom right now. She is board certified in both allergy and clinical immunology. She is a published author on allergies and respiratory disease, as well as a guest lecturer at the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology. She is also the medical director of Doctor on Demand. Dr. Elliott, what can you tell us about the types of mold that were found in Kelly and Richard's home?
Cladosporium in particular is one of the most common mold allergens that cause asthma attacks.
If we can get this house emptied out, get it cleaned, get these carpets, get everything done, and then get the proper ventilation in there, where this house is, first eradicate that from the house, then get the proper ventilation in there, has got to be improved once you get those irritants out of there as far as his asthma is concerned. It's got to improve it, right?
Certainly, and you're talking about morning congestion. It's not just that, it's upper respiratory infections, it's sinus infections, it's lung infections. Aspergillus in particular can cause something called allergic bronchopulmonary aspergillosis, which would require chronic steroid use in order to get under control if the aspergillus problem is not remediated. That musty smell means that those mold spores are in the air. And so it's not just these upper respiratory infections. There are other things that the molds can be causing: chronic fatigue, poor concentration, poor sleep, and even certain kinds of cancers.
I want you to be sure that you're very clear on this. So Doctor on Demand is my company and my son Jay's, so we're going to arrange for you to be able to have a one-on-one consultation with Dr. Elliott afterwards, so you can answer specific questions about that and make sure you're doing the right thing as far as whatever treatment might be concerned. So we'll set that up. Dr. Elliott, thank you so much for taking the time today. We really appreciate it.
No problem.
All right.
Happy to help.
Coming up, what's behind all of this and how she can change all of that right now after the break.
The hoarding's causing major financial problems. There are times that it's caused us to be behind on bills. Richard had taken a loan from his 401k to pay off our credit cards.
She'll go and buy things that she shouldn't buy, and that's money we could be using to pay more on a credit card. We could pay more on our mortgage. There could be $20,000 to $40,000 or more, and stuff just piled up. If the hoarding continues, we will eventually not be able to afford the mortgage.
We need to refinance our house, and we can't because someone can't come in and appraise it. They have to come inside to do an appraisal. How can I have someone come in to appraise the house? What are they going to appraise? They can't see anything. If I don't get rid of this crap and stop hoarding, we'll lose the house.
Kelly's identical twin sister says they both have pack rat tendencies. Kim says Kelly is in a realm of her own.
My twin sister, Kelly, she won't even let me come to her house. Kelly's hoarding, it's been out of control for years. Kelly is very generous with buying gifts for people, but then it never makes it to them. So then that just adds to the hoarding and clutter. We both love to shop, but Kelly's just gotten more out of control. I'm not allowed to buy anything for Kelly at all. I love shopping, but it's not where I can't use my kitchen table or use a room. I don't let things get piled or hoarded because I don't want to end up like Kelly. She always told me that it was a problem and that Richard threatened to get rid of stuff or take care of it for her if she wasn't going to do it. I'm more surprised that he's finally trying to push her into getting it done.
All right, Kim, I'm glad you're here. You have this tendency as well?
I like to shop,
but I have it under control. I haven't been to her house in years, and it makes me really sad because I had no idea it was that out of control.
You recognize that this has gotten to the point that it has to change, right?
Yes.
Dr. Frank Lawless is here today. He's chairman of the Dr. Phil Advisory Board. He's co-founder of the Lawless PNP Center, which is, I think, the best diagnostic and treatment center in the country in terms of diagnosing these multifaceted disorders that exist with comorbidity in terms of both psychological and physiological problems. What's your take on this hoarding, Frank?
Well, hoarding is basically a way of trying to deal with anxiety. And so consequently what happens is that, especially from early ages, we try to find ways of dealing with our anxiety. And our brain goes through this patterning of trying to cope. And obviously, one of the ways that you have been coping is by buying things and consequently feel better, but also the notion of possessing things. So it's not only a psychological thing, but it's also a neurological thing, because your patterns in your brain thinking have been so developed that you can't think of anything else.
So what we have to do is get you to where you're desensitized to this and you have a new way to control your anxiety. You have a new way to decrease all of that inside, where you say, I don't need that anymore. I used to need that, but now I don't need that. I have another way of doing that. That stuff is just irritating. I now have a way of controlling my anxiety. I now have new tools. Systematic desensitization, relaxation techniques, all sorts of ways for you to deplete yourself of anxiety emotionally, physiologically, neurologically. And those things are very doable. We'll be right back. Created where either on your smartphone, your iPad, your computer, you can download the Doctor On Demand app, and within an average wait time of about 30 seconds, you can be face-to-face with a board-certified physician to answer your questions, treat you, prescribe your medications, whatever, instead of sitting in a waiting room with a bunch of sick people. And the good news is we also provide psychological services there as well. I said I want you to talk to Dr. Elliott about this mold and the asthma and allergens. But we can also set you up with a licensed therapist, doctoral level psychologist, that can help you with exactly what I'm talking about here, because I don't want to start this in a week. I want to start it today. 30 days from now, you are going to be stunned at how different your life is. This is something that is very treatable and is going to turn around. And y'all are going to be so mad at yourselves for sitting on this for 12 years, when I'm serious, a month from now, this is going to be a good deal different. To help you make this transition, I want to introduce you to Tara Dotson. She is a personal organizer and owner of Be Organized, B-E-E, Organized. She has experience working with hoarders a lot, and she's going to work with Kelly to get rid of the items that you don't need, so you don't feel like there's just some violation and you're out of control. But it's going to take a lot of work, right, Tara?
It's going to take a lot of work, but I'll be there to hold your hand through the whole process. You'll be able to let some stuff go and get everybody comfortable and safe.
I know it makes better TV if I back a truck up and we're empty in the house and all. It does. It makes great television. But it's not the responsible way to do this. The responsible way to do this is to do it with you and get this handled properly.
That's awesome.
Sounds great.
Thank you so much.
All right. I want to thank my guests today, and a special thanks to Tara Dotson. A special thanks to Tanya Elliott of Doctor On Demand, and to Dr. Frank Lawless and the PNP Center. If you want to have your own Doctor On Demand, you can go to iTunes or Google Play, download the app, and you can hook right up and be right there. We'll see you next time. All right, thanks so much. We'll get this turned around really quick. Guys, thanks so much.
on an all-new Dr. Phil exclusive.
The former NFL star
Created where either on your smartphone, your iPad, your computer, you can download the Doctor On Demand app, and within an average wait time of about 30 seconds, you can be face-to-face with a board-certified physician to answer your questions, treat you, prescribe your medications, whatever, instead of sitting in a waiting room with a bunch of sick people. And the good news is we also provide psychological services there as well. I said I want you to talk to Dr. Elliott about this mold and the asthma and allergens, but we can also set you up with a licensed therapist, doctoral level psychologist, that can help you with exactly what I'm talking about here, because I don't want to start this in a week. I want to start it today. 30 days from now, you are going to be stunned at how different your life is. This is something that is very treatable and is going to turn around. And y'all are going to be so mad at yourselves for sitting on this for 12 years when, I'm serious, a month from now, this is going to be a good deal different. To help you make this transition, I want to introduce you to Tara Dotson. She is a personal organizer and owner of Be Organized, B-E-E, Organized. She has experience working with hoarders a lot, and she's going to work with Kelly to get rid of the items that you don't need, so you don't feel like there's just some violation and you're out of control. But it's going to take a lot of work, right, Tara?
It's going to take a lot of work, but I'll be there to hold your hand through the whole process. You'll be able to let some stuff go and get everybody comfortable and safe.
I know it makes better TV if I back a truck up and we're empty in the house and all. It does. It makes great television. But it's not the responsible way to do this. The responsible way to do this is to do it with you and get this handled properly. How's
That's
that?
awesome.
Sounds great.
Thank you so much.
All right. I want to thank my guests today, and a special thanks to Tara Dotson. A special thanks to Tanya Elliott of Doctor On Demand, and to Dr. Frank Lawless and the PNP Center. If you want to have your own Doctor On Demand, you can go to iTunes or Google Play, download the app, and you can hook right up and be right there. We'll see you next time. All right, thanks so much. We'll get this turned around really quick. Guys, thanks so much. Thanks, guys.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil exclusive.
the former NFL star
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My daughter is a rageaholic.
Have you punched your mother in the face?
No. Yes.
They're lying to you. He's lying to you. She's lying to you. You just want me to keep on pushing pills down my throat.
You were in jail 7 months.
You were so drunk you didn't remember a damn thing. We could ask my older sister.
You wasn't there.
I was 16 years old. I'm not finished. What is wrong with your brain?
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Thank you very much. All right, I want you to meet 18-year-old Tyler. She's a very pleasant-looking, nice young lady, right? What if I told you that in the last 2 years, 18-year-old Tyler has been arrested 10 times, has had the police called on her at least 30 times for altercations with her own family? Now, her parents, Stacy and Dan, say they've had to file multiple orders of protection against Tyler for the safety of themselves and their other 2 children. Now, trouble with the law finally caught up with her in January 2017, and Tyler spent 7 months in jail for violating her probation because she beat up her friend. But since getting out of jail, her parents say Tyler's out-of-control behavior has only gotten worse. Now, Stacy and Dan say their daughter Tyler is refusing to take any medication or seek any treatment for any mental health disorders that she may have. Now, according to 18-year-old Tyler, treating her mental health is just, quote, not something she wants to do right now. Now, Stacy and Dan say Tyler is a rageaholic who has punched holes in the wall, broken windshields, and even punched her mom in the face. Oh, and one more thing, she's 7 weeks pregnant. Take a look.
My daughter Tyler is a rageaholic. She has extreme anger inside of her.
Tyler's punched holes in walls, doors, broken mirrors.
Kicked the pets, even cracked my car windshield with her feet. Tyler has had the police called on her by various members of the family at least 30 times.
When Tyler got me arrested the first time, she had called the police. She then told them that I punched her in the face, and I was arrested on the spot.
Tyler has called the police trying to get her dad and I in trouble multiple times.
I actually spent 3 weeks in jail. I lost my job. Tyler's called CPS on us multiple times. The CPS investigations have pretty much become routine.
Tyler went to jail because she violated her probation.
And because she beat up a boy. She was in jail for 7 months. It's just complete chaos.
Tyler's rages are set off by anything and everything. It may be a look. Sometimes in the grocery store, Tyler would perceive that somebody was giving her a dirty look, and I would tell her I don't think that's the case, and be concerned that she would be angry at me for telling her that.
She called me an ass bitch.
Tyler is physically and verbally abusive to every member of the family.
We've had to file these order of protections against Tyler because of her violence.
When I was 6.5 months pregnant, Tyler had pushed her body up against me with such force that she was slamming me into a door.
My daughter Tegan and my son Daniel literally feel hatred for Tyler.
Tyler has been diagnosed with depression,
ADD, ADHD,
bipolar,
PTSD.
Tyler does not take medication at all.
At this point, I have completely cut Tyler off, told my wife she's not to buy her stuff anymore.
Tyler is only 7 weeks pregnant. She has told me, you will never see your grandchild. I'm afraid she will crash and burn really hard.
Until she can accept that she needs help, Tyler's headed towards either long-term jail or an early death.
Okay, it's good to meet you. I'm sorry for the circumstance. You're basically parenting her, and you're using the police to help you parent her.
When Tyler was on probation, we were instructed that anytime she had any outbursts or behaviors like that, we had to call. We didn't call every time. That would be impossible.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. But they were becoming part of the parental unit, correct?
Yeah, well,
And that didn't work.
The other thing is, if we let it go too far, one of us would, more than likely me, would end up in jail. For
Oh, hell, I don't know how you've gone this far. Seriously, I don't know how you even go home. Because it's a ticking time bomb for you, right? She's had you arrested, what, 3 times?
Yeah.
For parenting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So this can't go on, right?
Right.
Okay, now she's got these multiple diagnoses that you said bipolar 1, ADHD, ADD, BPD, PTSD.
Yes.
Damn, buy a Val. That's a lot of diagnoses for an 18-year-old.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Do you think she has PTSD?
There was an incident where she was in a boarding home where someone tried to stab her with a knife. And I'm sure that was probably pretty traumatic.
It's a very complex diagnostic sequence. I see no evidence of it whatsoever in her patterns here at all. Dreams, nightmares, intrusive recollections, reliving the trauma, psychological, physiological reaction to cues, like loud noises, things of that nature, avoiding thoughts or feelings or conversations about it, activities, places, or people. Only thing is irritable and aggressive behavior, and that's not specific to this. So I think, I'm not sure that we even know what you're dealing with here, do we?
We've taken her to counseling. She's been always treated since she was young until she turned 18 and decided she was done with it.
But you don't know whether you were treating her for ADHD, ADD, borderline personality. You were just taking her for counseling.
When you're stuck in this situation, you listen to the professionals and you,
Of course,
you let them.
Of course, you would.
Just
You would.
go. Family counseling. Okay, let's go.
You don't go get a counselor and then not listen to them, right? You either
right.
put your faith in them or you don't.
Right. Yes.
I'm not being critical. I'm just trying to find out what you've done and not done, and do you know what you're treating or not treating?
I don't think we do.
No.
So at this point, here's what we know. She's not interested in doing anything to improve the situation or change it.
Right. She tells
Okay.
me that it has changed. She's changed.
Okay.
She says all of the people in her life besides us see a change, but they're all new people that she met in jail.
Okay, well, maybe. Okay, look, 18-year-old Tyler says her mom has hit her, bitten her, scratched her chest. She says her dad once punched her in the nose. She bled all over the bathroom. Her parents say Tyler is a liar who frequently makes up stories and then calls the police and CPS on them. Called CPS once from the jail on them. She just had a feeling that things weren't right. We'll meet Tyler after the break.
My mom said, "I hate you and I want you to die." One time, my father hit me really hard in the face. When I was 13 years old, my parents put me in a group home.
And later...
How would you know? You were so goddamn drunk you didn't remember a
She
goddamn
wasn't
thing.
there.
You didn't know who I was.
She was
Do you
gone
realize
all
you
night.
kept calling me
She was
Lacey?
gone
Who
all-
the f- is Lacey, Dad?
Tyler tried to manipulate me and my wife with a suicide attempt.
Tyler searched through all of my medications and found one that she thought could harm her.
She took pictures holding the bottle of pills and posted them on social media. I found Tyler on the couch, semi-conscious. I called 911.
The pills made her really out of it, but they didn't hurt her. I feel bad saying it was for attention, but I mean, that's like, hello.
Well, Stacy and Dan say their pregnant 18-year-old daughter, Tyler, is a rageaholic who has been abusing the family for years. Now, since getting out of jail in July, they say her behavior has actually gotten worse. Now, Tyler says her parents call the police on her any chance they get, and that there's a whole lot more to this story than they're telling. Take a look.
I am the black sheep of the family. My parents have brainwashed my siblings into thinking that I'm this big, horrible monster. My parents have called the police on me so many times for yelling at my brother, like siblings do to each other. They've had a refrain from order on me. I'm not to yell, swear, portray any harassing behaviors towards any of my family members. My mom has said, I hate you and I want you to die. She calls me a whore a lot. My dad, he's the one who started calling me a whore before my mom even did. One time, my dad shoved me into my bedroom closet wall, and my elbow and the back of my head went through the wall, and there's still a hole there to this day. Another time, my father hit me really hard in the face. My nose started bleeding, so I ran to the bathroom. Blood got everywhere, all over the bathtub, the floor, the toilet seats. I called the police, and they arrested him. When I was 13 years old, my parents kicked me out of the house and put me in a group home. They said that my behavior was the worst they'd ever seen. This year, I went to jail for 7 months for several violations of probation. The judge said I was a danger. They offered me probation again, but I decided to take my jail time. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. While I was in jail, I called CPS on my parents because while I was on a video call with my father, he was under the influence, was holding my infant sister. My boyfriend's name is Adam. We are engaged, and I am 7 weeks pregnant. I was in shock at first, kind of the whole, oh man, why wasn't I more careful stage. Life has been the furthest from normal, just so dysfunctional.
Okay, I'm glad you're here. How do you feel about being here?
To be honest, I'm a little nervous. I feel like nothing's really gonna come out of this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nothing's ever worked before. I don't see anything ever working, so.
Maybe I'm different.
I hope so.
This is a family situation here.
Yes.
And so I've talked to them about that, but I'm asking you, what's your ownership in this? What is it that sets you up to be criticized?
I do have anger issues. I wouldn't use that as, like, my dad always says, like, I use that as a crutch, my anger issues. Like, that's not a good reason to be the way that you are, but I have a lot of trouble controlling myself sometimes.
Why were you on probation?
Fighting with my parents, trouble at school.
And then you violated your probation, and that involved beating up a friend?
I didn't beat him up. I punched him in the face. I mean, not saying that makes it any better by any means, but I didn't, like, straight beat him up or anything.
Okay. Have you kicked the windshield out of your family car?
No. I was sitting in the front seat waiting to go home. It was, like, below freezing outside. I didn't kick it. It wasn't, like, shattered or anything. It's not like I took a freaking baseball bat to it. I sat up in the seat.
And it cracked?
I guess so. We had a really crappy car. So I can't really tell you why it cracked. I'm not a freaking scientist, but it cracked, and that's not my fault.
Have you punched your mother in the face? While she was pregnant?
No, I did not punch her in the face. My mom physically tried to restrain me while I was pregnant. Well, she was pregnant, sorry.
Did she punch you in the face?
Yes.
Dan says Tyler has had him arrested and sent to jail, as I said before, on more than one occasion for attacking her. Dan says he's never hit any of his children, but Tyler says her dad repeatedly punched her in the ribs during an altercation in 2015. We'll talk about that and hear from little brother and sister when we come back.
When I was 16, my father was in my bedroom yelling, screaming. He didn't know who I was or who he was at all. And he started punching me in the rib. He started saying sexual things to me. My mom blamed me for all of it.
And later, do not disrespect me or this audience. I'm telling you, don't do that.
All right, well, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. He's lying to you. She's lying to you.
I have been pregnant once before. At school that day, I was in a lot of pain, and I realized that I was losing my baby.
She tells everybody she had a miscarriage. Family members, friends, people talk about it and say Tyler was lying. She knows I don't believe her.
She denies it completely, that I was ever pregnant.
Well, 18-year-old Tyler is currently 7 weeks pregnant, but she says she was pregnant once before at 16. Now, Tyler claims she lost that baby. Stacy and Dan say they aren't sure if Tyler was ever pregnant at 16 years old. That's because they accuse her of being a liar and claim she has a long history of false accusations. Now, Dan says he's never hit any of his daughters, not ever. But on July 11th of 2015, he was arrested for battery and assault and cruelty to children. Take a look.
When I was 16, my father was in my bedroom yelling, screaming, just scary, angry, slurring his words. He didn't know who I was or who he was at all. My dad ended up talking to my mother on the phone because I wouldn't let him hold on to my phone because I was worried he would break it.
Tyler wouldn't give me her phone, so I tried to physically take it away from her, grabbed her arm and tried to just pry the phone from her hand.
So he started punching me in the rib.
I've never punched my daughter.
He thought I was somebody completely different, and he started saying sexual things to me. I was worried and scared because he didn't know who I was, and so I called the police.
I was arrested.
I was confused, scared, worried about what my mom was going to think when she came home.
I actually spent 3 weeks in jail for endangerment of the welfare of a minor and physical contact. I lost my job.
My mom was very mad at me.
I said to Tyler, I want you to tell them what really happened. And she said, you're telling me to lie to the police, and freaking out.
My mom wasn't there. She doesn't know.
I've never even asked my husband. I know it's not true.
There was this time where you two got in a fracas at a doctor's appointment. She didn't want to go in, so you said you sprinkled water on her.
Yes, I did.
Now, okay, if you believe that you have a volatile, rageaholic daughter, and she is at the time being oppositional and defiant, you think the best thing to do is throw water on her?
In hindsight, it was not the best decision. I was getting real mad. I was going to be late for my appointment, and she was refusing to get out.
And so you thought the thing to do was throw water on her?
I looked over, there's a water bottle. She was blowing her stack, and I thought, hey, I'll shut it off. Yeah.
How did that work for you?
It didn't work out very well. She pushed my door open so hard, she bent my door, she hit my hand, pushed it backwards, hyperextended my wrist, injured me. I mean, it didn't go well at all.
Yeah, but where's the adult here is what I'm saying. That doesn't work well. You're in this situation the night that you get arrested. The police report did say you were drinking that night. Under what set of logic does it make sense? You know you have a volatile, in your mind, rageaholic daughter. I'm not saying she is. I'm just saying that's how you view her, right?
Yes.
So you know in your mind that's what you're dealing with, so you decide, I'm going to physically take her phone from her. She's not going to give it to me, so by God, I'm going to take it away from her.
That would be the only way to punish her, and she would never give up anything. You have to take it away or wait till
Okay,
she
how did that work for you?
Well, in that occasion, it didn't work out very well.
You don't see how that leads to a bad result for you.
How else are we supposed to punish her?
Oh, I can think of a couple of thousand ways before I would put myself, as you, Dad, let me be selfish for you. If I'm you, knowing what I'm dealing with, whatever the list of options are, that would be the last one on my list, because I know what I'm subjecting myself to. I'm just trying to be selfish on your behalf.
And it was the last option on our list. We have tried everything with Tyler, from grounding to taking her door off the hinges to shutting off Wi-Fi.
So you still think that was a reasonable thing to do in the moment?
Well, I mean, it wasn't the best decision.
How long were you in jail?
3 weeks.
I believe I'd have tried something else before I spent 3 weeks in jail. Come on.
Again, we had tried multiple things.
I'm frustrated right now, and I'm not going to wrestle either one of you to the ground, because I'm sitting here thinking I've got two parents that I'm trying to get to see that you're putting yourself in harm's way. As a parent, you pick your battles and you pick your battlefields. wrestling a phone while you're intoxicated and she's emotionally or combative, that is neither the battle nor the battlefield.
I agree.
I'm just saying. Next, Tyler's 16-year-old sister and her 14-year-old brother Daniel say their families' lives would simply be better if Tyler would just not be living in the house. Tyler says her parents have brainwashed her siblings into hating her. Well, we're going to meet them after the break. We'll be right back.
Tyler lies about being abused, basically anything that will get her attention.
Tyler has said I'm a worthless, stupid bitch. She finds some self-satisfaction in putting other people down to bring herself up.
I posted something about myself being bisexual, and my father was very rude in his opinions.
Tyler knew my beliefs. Bisexuals are just people who are addicted to lust and will anything, and that really set Tyler off.
My father said that it was a lustful sin and that everybody who was bisexual sickened him.
She responded nasty and negatively, but I'm a born-again Christian. I'm just quoting what the Bible says.
I stood up for myself, and he got really angry with me and stopped talking to me like altogether.
Okay, Dan says he's not speaking to his 18-year-old daughter, Tyler, and told his wife, Stacy, to cut her off. Now, Tyler's 16-year-old sister, Tegan, says Tyler is manipulative, lies, and abuses. Tyler's 14-year-old brother, Daniel, says it would be better if Tyler were just not there right now if she's going to behave in this way. Take a look.
Tyler's been abusive to me for as long as I can remember.
She hit me in the face with a peanut butter jar. I actually went to the ER.
Tyler has said I'm a worthless, stupid bitch, ugly, a screw up.
Tyler will call me retarded and stupid.
She finds some self-satisfaction in putting other people down to bring herself up.
One time after I called the police on Tyler, she told them I was repeatedly punching her in the face. I've never hit my sister.
My sister has made accusations to the police about my dad molesting her, my parents abusing her and beating her, and none of that is true. Both me and Daniel were talked to by a CPS worker. They kept asking us questions. It was very traumatizing.
Tyler lies about being abused, basically anything that will get her attention. She used to lie about being pregnant until she actually became pregnant.
Tyler being pregnant is a cry for help.
She's not fit for raising a child or anything, including herself.
She just wants attention.
I do not like my sister. I don't want Tyler in my life.
Okay, have you two been brainwashed by your parents, or have you made up your own minds based on your relationship interactions with your sister?
We've made up our own minds based on everything that's happened.
She's mean to you?
Yes.
Why? Why do you think that is?
Because she feels like it.
What do you think about what she's saying today and how she's characterizing things today?
She's lying a lot or leaving things out that are very significant.
Such as?
It was not a crack, it was shattered. The whole entire windshield had to be replaced. If it was just a crack, it could have been fixed. The whole entire windshield was replaced. It was a huge shatter. She did it out of anger.
What do you say about that?
They're lying to you also. First of all, I'd like to talk about the fact that on that video, my sister said that I have called her some names. I have called her names, and I definitely, I'm not gonna lie, have called my brother a retard. She has called me fat, ugly. She's never sworn at me. She's never called me a bitch. I'm sure that I have called her a bitch. I'm not gonna lie about that. But I don't think I have ever told her she's worthless or anything like that. My brother and sister, they don't know it, they don't believe it, but they mean the world to me. Mm-hmm. I care about them more than I care about myself. I would jump in front of a school bus for them. I would take a bullet for them. And it blows my mind that they hate me so much.
To call someone a retard, as you say, is very inappropriate.
I understand
before,
that.
Haven't you?
What's funny about that?
It blows my mind. It really does. I'm not saying I'm not to blame here, but they have all been lying through their teeth to you throughout the interviews on the screens, through talking to you right now, and it just, it honestly is funny to me that they don't have an issue with that at all. I have never, ever in my life accused my dad of sexually molesting me. He did say sexual things to me that day, but that's when I had enough and I got scared and I called the police.
Tyler,
We could ask my older sister.
you were in jail 7 months.
They tried to put me in foster care that night because I was 15, 16 years old. I'm not finished.
Somebody to take you.
I am not.
They made me find somewhere for you to go.
Who took me then, Mom?
A lady from church. You stayed with a lady from church.
After you came
I had to
home.
immediately find somewhere for you to go.
You're wrong. You are wrong, Mom.
So you're saying the police in Georgia let a 16-year-old kid
Stay with a 22-year-old.
She was
How
not
would you
home.
know? You were so goddamn drunk you didn't remember a
She
goddamn
wasn't
thing.
there. She wasn't there.
You didn't know who I was.
She was
you
gone
realize
all
you
night.
kept calling me
She was
Lacey?
gone
Who
all
the
night.
Lacey, Dad? No,
You were staying.
Oh, well, hey. Watch your mouth. Do not disrespect me or this audience by talking that way here. You either have a clean mouth or you shut up, one of the two.
All right. Well, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. He's lying to you. She's lying to you.
Okay, Stacy refuses to allow Tyler to be alone with her own newborn child. The entire family worries Tyler could go into one of her raging fits, endangering the newborn. Tyler says it is incredibly hurtful that her family believes that she might hurt an infant. We'll talk about that and a baby that's on the way after the break.
Tyler has wanted to be pregnant and have a baby since she was about 13.
Because then she'll feel like she's got someone to love.
It's my child, my responsibility to teach it from right and wrong. And my parents have a very skewered version of right and wrong.
I'm very concerned now that Tyler's pregnant. She's at a very high level of anxiety.
My biggest fear in life right now is that I won't be as good as the parent as I want to be for my baby.
Tyler's admitted to me that she self-harms to get attention. One time, Tyler threatened to cut her wrist with a razor blade.
She has carved things into her leg, stabbed herself with a pencil. When Tyler pulled out her own hair, I was horrified.
You recognize, because you told me, you have a problem with anger.
Yes.
I've seen that in the last 10 minutes. You obviously have a lot of pent-up anger, and frankly, I'm not saying that there aren't justifiable reasons for it. I totally get that from your point of view, you feel like you're getting blamed for a lot of things that need to be shared, blame-wise, right? I am told, and you have said, that you have been diagnosed with a variety of disorders: bipolar, PTSD, depression, anxiety. Why would you say, I don't feel like dealing with that?
Dealing with what?
All of those disorders.
Because I don't
You don't what?
feel like dealing with it.
You're having a baby.
You have a child on the way.
Yeah, I understand that. Thank you. You just want me to keep on just pushing pills down my throat,
just
especially
deny
when
it
I'm
and
pregnant?
go forward with this anxiety and rage inside of you.
How are you going to get any better, Tyler?
How am I gonna get exactly, Dad? How am I gonna get any better?
Without trying. You can't just
Pushing
say, well,
pills down
I'm
my
sick of
throat is
trying.
not what I want to do for myself.
What would you like to do?
I'd like to get better, but I don't see that happening. I do not want to continually push medicine down my throat.
So
I understand that you are A-okay with that, but that's not me.
Tyler,
Can I interrupt here?
Of course.
Why did y'all come here?
To try to get help for our family and Tyler.
From?
You.
Yeah.
There are some things I'd like to share with her, if I could jump in here for a second.
By all means.
I totally get what you're saying. I really do. If I'd been taking medications as long as you have, and they had made things worse, not better, I don't think I'd be running towards psychopharmacology either. And based on what I know about what your diagnoses have been and what you've been prescribed, I also agree that it's probably made you worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think A, you've been misdiagnosed, and I think B, you've been misprescribed. I think, I agree. I think it's probably made you worse. So I don't disagree with you not wanting to take a bunch of pills. So you and I are on the same side of that. Imagine that. But there's something that I want you to think about. There are certain things that you have to look at and consider as a parent, because I don't want your child to be in jeopardy. Because having been trained as a forensic psychologist, I've been called upon as an officer of the court to render opinions about the fitness of a parent. And while there are some differences, minor differences from state to state, they all generally adhere to these basic 10 principles right here in determining fitness of a parent. And number one is that parent able to provide a safe, stable, and secure environment for the child? And I think right now the answer for you would be questionable. Number two, maintain a loving, stable, consistent, nurturing relationship with the child. That's unknown. 3, attend to the daily needs of the child. Unknown. Attend to adequate education for the child, not an issue for a while. Provide for the financial support of the child, not right now. Ability to identify and prioritize the needs ahead of your own. At this point, I would have to say that alone disqualifies you as a parent for this baby, because you won't put the child's needs ahead of your own, because you're not taking care of the child's mother. The child's mother,
Because
obviously.
I don't want to take drugs?
That's not what I said. Now, you can set up a paper tiger and tie it down because you want to be a right fighter and you want to argue with me, or you can listen to what I'm telling you and hear something you need to hear. Or you're going to look at this 8.5 months from now, 7.5 months from now, and go, wow, I had a chance to fix this at the time and I didn't listen because I wanted to be smartass about it. You want to listen to what I'm telling you here. Assist the child in development and maintenance of appropriate relationships. You can't do that for yourself, let alone for the child. Exercise appropriate judgment regarding their welfare. Your judgment, your relationship management, your impulse control and management, and putting the child's needs ahead of your own would disqualify you because you won't take care of the child's mother. Now, is the alternative to go take a bunch of pills? That's not what I'm saying. That's what you want to hear, so you can argue, because that's your default position, is to argue with someone.
May I ask what you're expecting me to do then?
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to tell her exactly what I think she can do to change this situation, and I'm going to tell the family what I think they can do to contribute to this situation. This can get better. We'll be right back. You clearly are having some impulse control disorders. That doesn't mean you're an evil person. It just means you have impulse control disorders. You get really upset quick. You go from 0 to in 1.2 seconds. And I think there's a neurological aspect to that. You get neurological pathways in your brain that coincide with anger and rage, and you can default to that, and it's like a racetrack with no exit ramp. You can get into it, and then before you know it, you're punching somebody in the face, or you're knocking a hole in the wall, or you're just screaming. And I think if we could unscrew the top of your head and look in, it would scare us to death. It was like, it's just so busy in there. And there are a lot of things that can be done with that. First off, I think you need to have a very careful and thorough evaluation biochemically, neurologically, brain scan wise, hormonally, everything, so you know where you are, and then get you the alternatives non-medication wise to reprogram yourself so you have control that you don't now have. And that has nothing to do with them, that has to do with you. And to do that, I'm going to need to fly you to Dallas, to a special center there called the PNP Center. And it's a psychoneuroplasticity center, which is a long word, which is why I say PNP. I think it would make a dramatic difference, and then come away from there with a plan to bring you and to baby some peace. And I think it would make a huge difference in your life. No medicine. And this family needs some help in terms of family dynamic. Your way of problem solving is not good. That's a nice way of saying horrible. It's not good. You guys are so frustrated, you're so battle worn, that you hit a frustration threshold really early. You need some relief. You need some reinforcements here, some new ways of doing things. And I'm willing to make those arrangements for you if you will take that help. And those two damn sure deserve it. They damn sure deserve it. And if I make those arrangements, will you guys immerse yourself in that? Will you do that?
Yes.
Will you take this help I'm offering you?
I have to think about it.
Will you take this help I'm offering you?
I have to think about it. I am telling you, Dr. Phil, we have been through so much, and I don't know if I even want a relationship with these people anymore.
Well,
they're not my family in my book.
Well,
I don't have them.
Then don't, but you still have to take care of yourself so you can take care of your baby. If you never see them again, you still need to have peace in your own life and prepare yourself to give your baby the best chance it has to have a wonderful, vibrant, and happy life. And I'm going to guess that you've not had a better offer.
Okay.
But listen, if you don't want to do it, I totally get it, because I want to do this with you, not to you. This is something I'm offering you to do. I'm not trying to make you do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm wanting to do this with you, not to you. I'm saying, hey, let me help you out here.
I know. I'll do it. I don't want to, but I will.
Well, if you change your mind, don't do it. But I'm guessing, like I say, it's probably the best offer you've had, and your baby sure deserves it. If you love your baby, and I know you do, take care of her mom. Okay? Take care of your mom. I'm not judging you, I'm offering to help you. And that's kind of hard to pick apart, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Fair enough? Okay. All right, I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to the PNP Center and Dr. Frank Lawless. They have offered to help Tyler because we've talked about it already, and Dr. Lawless has taken a great interest in you and is willing to work when you're ready to do it. So I hope you follow through. I really do. Okay? Okay. We'll get her to do this. It'll make a big difference. Okay. Will you take this help I'm offering you?
I have to think about it. I am telling you, Dr. Phil, we have been through so much, and I don't know if I even want a relationship with these people anymore.
Well,
they're not my family in my book.
Well,
I don't have them.
Then don't, but you still have to take care of yourself so you can take care of your baby. If you never see them again, you still need to have peace in your own life and prepare yourself to give your baby the best chance it has to have a wonderful, vibrant, and happy life. And I'm going to guess that you've not had a better offer.
Okay.
But listen, if you don't want to do it, I totally get it, because I want to do this with you, not to you. This is something I'm offering you to do. I'm not trying to make you do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm wanting to do this with you, not to you. I'm saying, hey, let me help you out here.
I know. I'll do it. I don't want to, but I
Well, if you change your mind, don't do it. But I'm guessing, like I say, it's probably the best offer you've had, and your baby sure deserves it. If you love your baby, and I know you do, take care of her mom. Okay? Take care of your mom. I'm not judging you. I'm offering to help you. And that's kind of hard to pick apart, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Fair enough? Okay. All right. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to the PNP Center and Dr. Frank Lawless. They have offered to help Tyler because we've talked about it already. And Dr. Lawless has taken a great interest in you and is willing to work when you're ready to do it. So I hope you follow through. I really do. Okay? Okay. We'll get her to do this. It'll make a big difference.